Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where beauty is for everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to show you how I got this look using the Pat McGrath Mothership 1 Subliminal palette. This is a gorgeous palette. It's a very expensive palette. So I definitely want to give you more thoughts on this and do more tutorials on it. But in this tutorial I do give you some more detailed thoughts, which shadows I think are better than others, which shadows work a specific way, like how to use the palette. And I do really love the way the look turned out overall, even though this palette definitely challenged me to use shadows in a different way. Before you move forward with watching this video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. There's a little button down below that says subscribe. Just go ahead. I also wanted to let you know that as usual, everything I mentioned in this tutorial, like all the other products that I use, will be listed down below as well. I will also have linked another tutorial that I did using that palette. If you like something more smoky, it's a little bit more of like a smoky look. So I'll definitely have all that listed. And that's it. So if you want to see how I get this look using the Pat McGrath Mothership 1 Subliminal palette, then please keep on watching. So I'm going to start off like usual with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. And just make sure to blend that out really well from inner to outer corner and blend up the remainder towards the brow bone. So jumping into the palette, I'm going to take this light cream shade and I'm going to put this all over the lid from inner to outer corner. To be honest, I have to say the shimmers, not the like super sparkly colors, but the regular plain old shimmers really disappoint me. They kind of have that thick formula that like older eyeshadows have. That feel like they're gonna go on really pigmented, but then you lose some of that textural payoff. But it just has that like thickness to it that doesn't have such an elegant texture. Now I'm gonna take a Smith 235, any pinched blending brush will work, and I'm going to take this mid-tone matte brown shade. It's pretty neutral, like it doesn't lean too warm, but it's also not like super ashy gray. And I'm gonna dust this really, really lightly into the crease. And I'm gonna make sure to get that inner corner because that's something that I often fail to do. The theme of today's makeup is being careful. Because oftentimes when I do a tutorial, I am in a rush for whatever reason, and then I'm never satisfied. So let's make a change. And I'm just gonna build that up a tiny bit more. Now I'm going to take my Smith 253 again. This is what I used for that champagne color on the lid. And I'm going to layer another lid color on top. I'm going to use this color right here, which I think is picking up to be like a baby blue on camera right now. Let me show you a swatch. From certain angles, it actually looks orange. I don't even know if I'm in focus, but in other angles, it flashes like a baby blue. So what I did for the other eye is use a brush first to kind of lay down the color in a precise fashion on the lid, but I definitely didn't get the color payoff I wanted, so I ended up going in with my finger. When I was playing around with this palette, I layered this color over this like deep lavender color over here, and it definitely pulled way more blue. It looked really pretty. What I'm noticing with this palette is that it's really good for layering. Like the shimmers on their own are like kind of useless, to be honest. Like I'm actually really disappointed in the one that I used all over my lid and then these two shimmers right here. But as a base for the sparkly shadows, they are super nice. And they really bring out like different tones in the duochromes. But I wish the shimmers were like of a more updated quality. Like I feel like I haven't seen a formula like this for shimmers in a while. But anyway, so I'm just gonna take that same color on my ring finger and I'm gonna do my firm sweep pat motion that we have not yet come up with a name for. And I'm just gonna press that onto the lid. I'm gonna have to knock away some excess. And then to bring out that blue tone in that duochrome, I actually went ahead and just added this really light shade with a baby blue shift to it. So I'm just going to pop that right in the center of the lid. Oops. I'm going to take my Real Techniques accent brush, this teeny tiny brush, and I'm going to go into the black in this palette, and the black is super dark. It makes a great eyeliner. So I'm going to use just this eyeshadow for my eyeliner, and I'm going to wing it out. So I'm just going to start at the inner corner and just do little dashes across my upper lash line. I wanted to keep the theme of this look kind of just like diffused and more ethereal, so I didn't want to do like a hard liquid liner like I do in a lot of my tutorials. So using this little brush with a black shadow is perfect. And I'm just going to turn the brush on an angle and just create a line extending from my lower lash line. And then connect it to the line on the upper lash line. And then I'm just deepening it up, adding more black shadow right at the root of the lashes. Okay, now I'm gonna add a subtle pop to the lower lash line. I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs Highliner Crayon in the shade Out of the Blue. This is what it looks like. I need to remember to do my right eye for the next tutorial because I'm right-handed and staying in frame is getting really uncomfortable. So I'm taking the eyeliner and I'm going across the bottom lash line. I'm not going into the waterline, so I'm not going above the lashes. And then I'm making it a little bit thinner on the inner portion because my eyes are quite round. So I'm not trying to emphasize the roundness. I'm trying to make them a little bit more almond shaped. And then taking a little angled brush, this one happens to be the Real Techniques 202. I'm just gonna gently buff that out and kind of just bring it into that top liner. And then I'm gonna take a push liner brush. So I'm gonna dip right back into this color. I am just going to layer that with a combination of dashes and stamping motions. And see how beautiful that looks, like just the texture of that shadow and like all of the different colors and dimension layered over the eyeliner. It looks way different than it looks on the top lid, even though it's the same eyeshadow. So the base that you use really matters for colors that are like maybe a little bit more clear, but they have like different colors that they reflect. I am going to take a cotton pad with a little bit of micellar water and clean that up before doing my concealer. Just applying a little bit of eye cream. And now I'm gonna go ahead and really carefully apply my under eye concealer, trying to get as close to that eyeshadow as possible without messing it up. And then putting a little bit of e.l.f. HD under eye setting powder on with my beauty blender. Now I'm gonna tightline with my Marc Jacobs Highliner crayon, or Fineliner crayon, excuse me, in Blaquer. And I'm gonna put that in the waterline as well. And now I'm gonna take a pigment from Inglot. This is in the number 75. Super pretty, like silvery white shade. It's just having a Bob Ross moment. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit on a pencil brush, spritz the brush with a facial mist, and then I'm going to just pop that in my inner corner. And again, the theme of today is being careful. So I'm not gonna just put it everywhere like I normally do. I'm going to just conservatively apply that to the inner corner. And now quickly off camera, I am going to apply top and bottom mascara and false lashes. I am going to use the Ardell Studio FX Wispies lashes. And if you don't know how to apply false lashes or you'd like some tips, I have a tutorial on it, which I will link down below. But for this tutorial, I'll just be right back. And this is the finished eye look. Now let's move on to the rest of the face. All right, so this part is never that interesting, but I'll just show you anyway. I have this contour kit by Motives. I did a video in collaboration with somebody who sells Motives. If you want to learn more about that line and what's available, I'll link it down below. It was a Christmas makeup tutorial, but you know, good tips for makeup year round. So I'll link that down below. But anyway, I really love the contour color in this kit. So I'm going to take that on my Sephora Pro Featherweight blending brush and just dust that. I'm not even really contouring, but since I'm so fair, I do prefer contour shades even as bronzers sometimes, because traditional bronzers can just pull very orange on me. I mean, this even pulls warm on me, and it's a cool tone shade. And then for blush, I took the little compartments out of this e.l.f. compact. And I have these two cool tone blushes. One of them is by Bobbi Brown and it's discontinued. This is Pastel Pink, but plenty of brands make like a really light, almost purpley, lavendery pink. And this one is a little bit more of a deep mauve from Lancome. I think I'm going to use this one that's discontinued from Bobbi, but like I said, these colors aren't too hard to find. I just think that they go really well with these like very light, sparkly, cool-toned, very like looks. And then before I apply my highlight, I really actually, I want to update everybody on something that I purchased and featured in a drugstore haul. This is the Milani Prep Set and Glow Powder. I really like the way this looks over like my entire base with a beauty blender. So I'm just going to swipe my sponge in there and just bounce it all over my face. And I love the like believable glow this gives to the skin. And now for highlight, I'm gonna stay in this like cool tone pinky theme. I'm taking Urban Decay's Aura Afterglow highlighter. It's weird that these don't come with a mirror, right? I just feel like this brush like goes with the theme. I use fan brushes sometimes when my other brushes are dirty, but otherwise I don't love them. But let me just, I can't like totally decide how I feel about fan brushes, to be honest. Or how to use them. Like, do I use it like this or do I use it like this? I don't really know. I tweezed my entire mustache off today. It was so painful. My skin was so red. But I mean, my skin does not tolerate waxing. Like, so that's what I have to do if I don't want my mustache. A little bit on the temples. That's not giving me like quite the glow that I desire actually. I need something that's like a hair lighter, even though you'd think that an icy pink highlighter would be very light because it's more likely to flatter a fair skin tone. Anyway, this is another product by Motives. It's called the Shimmer Powder and it's in the shade Starshine. This stuff is so glowy. It looks in the pan like it's gonna be too deep for my skin tone, but it's actually like my favorite highlighter. Like I might even just call it my favorite. Ooh, I really like it combined with that Urban Decay highlight. It's just so glowy. It has like that glowy wet look on the skin. Okay, now for the lips. Ugh, everybody knows that I struggle with lips. My lips naturally don't have a lot of definition, so I always feel like I need to add definition there, but then I feel like color sometimes ruins the look, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna just try to do a softer lip today. Okay, my lips are looking very naturally pigmented because I just applied a bunch of lip colors that I didn't like and removed them. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my original plan. The LA Girl Velvet Lipstick in Ooh La La. And I'm just going to stamp a little bit on. That's it, just to give a little bit of a base for this gloss. And then I'm going in with a light pink sparkly gloss. This is by Bobbi Brown. Again, it's discontinued, I apologize, but any light pink sparkly gloss will do. Yay, I feel pretty. I am having a crisis.
Why?
Because my hair like won't do what I want it to do, but then again, I don't know what I want it to do. Okay, everyone, that is it for this tutorial using the Pat McGrath Mothership 1 Subliminal palette. I definitely want to do another tutorial using this palette because it's so beautiful, but like it does make me a little uncomfortable to use it. But I think once I try like some different things, I get like a really beautiful look out of it, and it's so damn expensive, so I really need to get some more use out of it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you want to see the last tutorial I did using that palette with that really beautiful dark blue shade, I will have that link down below, as well as my how to apply false lashes tutorial. What else? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I love doing makeup tutorials, but I also do a lot of other stuff, and I also talk about skincare a lot. So if you're interested in any of that, please go ahead and subscribe. Otherwise, just let me know what you want to see next in the comments below. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.